Hello, I'm Avis Kalfsbeck, and this is the Peace is Here podcast. Welcome to Peacewarts, School of Peacecraft and Inquiry, where we practice the skills of peace through short daily classes. We take the peace work seriously, but not ourselves. If you're joining us mid-school year, you're not late. Orientation begins at episode 198. Welcome back to Universal Understars in the Tower, Peace Scholars. For the last week, we've looked at photos and physics. Today, we look at human data. Astronaut Ron Guerin said, "When we look down at the Earth from space, we see this amazing, indescribable, beautiful planet. It looks like a living, breathing organism, but at the same time, it looks extremely fragile. It's the realization that we're all in this together." In this department, we don't just study stars, we study the people who went toward them. Specifically, we study the overview effect. While we've touched on this before, today we treat it as a formal piece of geopolitical evidence. It is a cognitive shift that happens when a human being sees the Earth from orbit. It isn't just awe, it is a total restructuring of how a brain processes the concept of the other. The concept. Astronaut testimony as data. When we look at the testimony of over 500 people who have traveled to space, a pattern emerges. They don't come back talking about the superiority of their home country. They come back talking about the fragility of the whole. Astronaut Sultan bin Salman Al Saud famously noted that on the first day, everyone pointed to their country. On the third day, they pointed to their continent. By the fifth day, they were only aware of one Earth. In the Tower, we view this as proof that nationalism is a localized sensory error. When the physical body is removed from the ground, the mind immediately recognizes that we are one species. The history. The 1963 American University speech. You can hear the overview effect in the language used during the Great Disarmament, even before we had a name for it. On June 10, 1963, John F. Kennedy gave his American University speech. He didn't speak as a cold warrior. He spoke as a passenger on the planet. He called for a strategy of peace based not on Pax Americana enforced by weapons, but on a peace that makes life on Earth worth living. He was trying to bring the high view down to the level of policy. He argued that if we can't end our differences, we can at least help make the world safe for diversity. He was using the logic of the overview effect to convince a world in conflict that their shared mortality was a more important border than their ideologies. JFK said, "For in the final analysis, our most basic common link is that we all inhabit this small planet. We all breathe the same air. We all cherish our children's future. And we are all mortal." The thesis, shifting the gaze. The lesson for today is that identity is a choice of altitude. If you stay at the street level, you see enemies. If you climb to the tower, you see neighbors. If you go to the stars, you see a family. In the Department of Universal Understars, we believe that the overview effect shouldn't be reserved for billionaires or astronauts. It's a mental tool that every peace scholar must use. We use it to dismantle the logic of war by showing that it only makes sense if you're looking at the ground through a very narrow straw. Your homework. 1. Interrupt your routine to look up astronaut quotes on the overview effect and find the one that resonates most with you. 2. Write down one question you have after this episode or doing homework number 1. If no question comes to mind, write "no question." 3. Optional. Journal about what would happen to our local conflicts if every world leader was required to spend 24 hours in orbit before taking office. Until our next lesson, keep your eyes on the Understars. Class dismissed. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to support the Pieces Here podcast, the most helpful way is to follow it wherever you're listening. It helps share the message with others. You can also support this piece work at my Patreon for $4 a month, about what a used paperback goes for these days. Just go to Patreon at patreon.com/Avis Kalfsbeck. That's AVISKALFSBEEK. My most recent book is Monomutante, a best friend eco-fiction novella about food systems, featuring Tilly, Camas, Pedro, and the rest of the gang. It's book 6 in the Pedro the Water Dog Saves the Planet series and is available wherever you buy books. You can find all of my peace projects and stay in touch at aviskalfsbeck.com. Music is by Javier Peque Rodriguez. Sound effects are from Pixabay. Regarding peace, we need not delay or despair. We are not late. We are right on time to love. We are all scholars of peace. Listen for the peace.